Hey guys, Mike the Alpha Hoarder here. I got a couple cards I want to add to my hoard today, and while I'm doing that, I figured we could chat a little bit about building wealth. Now, full disclosure, none of my money comes from selling collectibles, so I am going to keep my rambling a little bit more general, but it applies to all ventures. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is because I saw the hype the last 2 years in collectible space. I saw what seemed like some really unwise decisions. I saw the same hype in crypto space in 2017, in NFTs last year, I'd say. People chase these one-off big wins, and it's just not a strategy for success. So don't fall for it. Don't come near collectibles if you think it's going to be easy. If you think this is an easy play or you got a good shot of hitting the lottery. Let's see. Ooh. Here's a nice hit. If you think anything to do with magic cards is a chance for an easy win or a quick win, you're just wrong. Business is a grind. It's always a grind. There is no getting rich quick. There are no shortcuts. Success is a grind. And even if you get lucky and you hit the lottery, that was pure chance. It's not going to be repeatable. And so you're likely still to fail in the long term because you never acquired the discipline that you needed. You just got the win, Ooh, look at these. Now this is a nice set. All right, let's see what we got here. Very clean. I got these off TCG Player. There are a couple of sellers on there who pretty consistently have a good selection of clean alphas. The prices of the commons are continuing to float upward. You can still get them. You can still get some below 50, but I would say 50 to 70 is usually where these are going to land if you're getting a good deal. Back to my point here. There's a reason that 70% of lottery winners lose or spend everything within 5 years. There's a reason that I think it's 80% or 75%. Look it up, I guess. It's right in there of professional athletes are broke within 3 years of retiring. People think that first big win is going to be enough. It's going to carry the day. But the truth is it's not. And the time that you spent chasing the win could have been time spent actually building a system to bring you wealth. So I would say if you are looking at collectibles and you want to see what opportunity is there, be prepared for a grind. That's just what it takes. Again, my businesses have nothing to do with collectibles, but my current business, which was the third one that I did, for the first 5 years, I never took a day off. I worked 7 days a week, probably 85 to 100 hours a week. There were no sick days. There were no family days. It was just grind all day, every day. And yeah, that sucks, but eventually luck is going to come along. It's just the law of large numbers. And you just have to ask yourself, who is luck going to favor? The guy who's sort of floating along, doing a mindless job, chatting with his buddies about NFTs, but then going home and just playing video games? Or the guy that's balls to the wall all the time, every day, trying to make things happen? Which of those two people is going to be in the right place to capitalize on good fortune when it does strike? from the same guy. Oh, I know what set this is. Ooh, good. Wow, we're adding a lot to the hoard today. This is a good day, my friends. A fine, fine day. So yeah, you got to be ready for a grind, and you can't rely on any system that requires you to time the markets. Don't even try. They say time in the market beats timing the market, and that is just always true. You know, you could take, there's an infographic that was going around that I thought was great. It showed the S&P 500. You know what? I'll find it and I'll put it up on the screen. So if you had put $10,000 in the S&P 500 back in 2007, then at the end of 2021, you'd have 46 grand. But if you had missed just the 10 best days during that 15-year run, and you might have missed those days because you were trying to time the market, you were trying to exit when you thought things were high or were about to crash, or maybe you hadn't gotten in yet because you were waiting for a low or whatever. But if you were playing the timing game and you didn't happen to be in the market during the best 10 days out of 15 years, you would miss out on 70% of the returns. And if you've missed the best 20 days, you'd have missed out on 92% of the returns, which is just absurd if you think about it. So you can't rely on trying to time things, and you can't expect it to be a sprint. This is why I don't think it's a great idea to try and speculate on cards. Really. Ooh, some good ones buried in here. So what can you do? Well, you got to build a system, and I can't tell you what that system is. I don't know. You need a company. You need something that generates cash flow on a regular basis. And then you just have to stick with it. You can diversify. Spread yourself out with a wide enough net that your winners can pay for your losers. Ooh, there's some good stuff in here. And just stick with it. So if you're interested in collectibles, it should be because you love them. Because then you won't have any problem sticking with it, following it through. You won't be tempted to try and time the market and go for the big wins. You'll do the grind, you'll build the system. Wow, I remember this batch. Ooh, there are some good ones in here. Oh man, I can't wait to go through these here. I'm gonna have to finish up my rant because I'm starting to get hyper, I'm starting to get distracted. Too many alpha cards in front of me at once. What was I saying? If you're young, now's the time to do it. That's another important thing. Look at that guy. I've wondered this about myself, actually. You know, I now have 3 kids. I've been doing my own businesses for well over a decade, close to 2 decades. I don't know if I could do it again if I had to go back to square one. My priorities have shifted, my state of mind has shifted, and my time has shifted. You know, to do it all now, I would have to miss out on a lot of things that I'm not sure I'd be willing to sacrifice. And you know, that's okay too. But if you're young, if you like this stuff, oh, lost a light here. If you're willing to do the grind, well, do it when you're young. And just keep trying. That's the key. Most people don't appreciate how few individuals actually step up to the plate and swing the bat. Everybody talks about it, you know? But almost nobody tries. Or they try and it's really sort of half-assed. sort of the minimum amount of commitment possible, financial or time. And it's not really a surprise that those people don't find success. And a lot of people just sort of like being resentful of those that do actually try. But if you try, and you try again, and you try again, and you just keep on grinding, you're bound to find the way there. You really are. I love this card. The art is bizarre. It's basically just two eyes, and yet it's so iconic. There's more going on in there. These are the three big hits out of this pile. Nicely centered. Nicely centered Spectre. I need to compare this to the Master Binder. This might be a clean enough copy to do an upgrade. Wow. What a day this is. I tell people to figure that if you're trying to get serious into any business venture or anything, honestly figure you're looking at a 10-year commitment. That's just what it takes to master something, to really immerse yourself in it, to really figure it out, to be able to take advantage of the opportunities that are going to, come by at whatever frequency. And, some people say, well, that's too long. If you're one of those people, if that was your reaction, well, I'm sorry, but that's stupid. That's just stupid. Life is longer than you think if you're only thinking in terms of 10 years. Hopefully, if we're lucky. But, think about yourself 10 years ago. A lot of you out there were probably looking for the way to make it big, nice and fast 10 years ago. If instead you'd been going all in on something else, then you'd already be done, You just don't want another 10 years to go by and you're sort of in the same place just doing the talking. Don't be a talker, be a doer. What a clean batch of cards here today. Wow. I'm going to be spent just going through these. This is amazing. Look at these cards. I buy a lot of Alpha cards. I try to get collections when I can. I've got a lot of relationships with dealers who sell to me off platform. Everyone I work with regularly knows that I want the near mint stuff, or as close to it as you can get. And yet, even still, I have to say, a set like this is uncommon. Even the guys that are trying to put aside nicer cards for me, you just do not find them this nice that often. And that is why I keep saying that I think they're undervalued. It is just rarer than people think. So anyway, figure out your system. That's what you got to do. If you want to get into collectibles, magic cards, whatever, you need a system, and it needs to be more than just hoarding a bunch of reserve list cards and sort of talking about how their price is going up. You got to do something. I am not a great model to follow. I am hoarding. This channel is somewhat ironic because I'm not. This isn't the healthiest arrangement that I have, but as I've said before, for me, this is not really part of my wealth building model. I certainly have hopes that it will be a good part of my portfolio eventually, but if I get no returns on this, that's okay. I've made sure to have investments in other places that will get me returns that are more substantial than what's going on here. So I'm not the greatest model for this. But business in general, you got to find a system. So maybe you're going to buy a lot of sealed product, have a schedule where you sell it back to the market once the prices rise a bit. Maybe you're going to hustle for collections, do the grading and flipping game. Whatever it is you do, it's got to be consistent. You've got to have a plan. You got to go all in, and you got to stick to it long term. And honestly, if you do that, you'll find success. I've run a lot of businesses at this point. I've run into a lot of other people who are running businesses, and I've started to see the patterns between who's successful and who isn't. And the people that just get up and do, and that just keep pushing, you can almost tell just from talking to them, just when you hear the personality. I can almost tell you which ones are going to make it eventually and which ones aren't. And that's what it takes. If you can get yourself into a mode where you're just driving and pushing and pushing and pushing and grinding, you'll get there. If instead you think you're going to time the market, spec on a couple of cards, wait for them to spike, get your big payday, and then you'll be made, that's not going to happen. And you are setting yourself up for a failure, and you're wasting a lot of time. The opportunity cost, not just of your money, but of your time, your youth, whatever you've got going for you now that won't be there in the future. You are wasting it. All right, I've ranted more than enough. Let's just look at these last couple cards and I'll end the video. Wow, this is just a fantastic set. Absolutely stunning. Even the circles. Some of these almost look pack fresh. COP white. I got all the circles. What else have I got here? Ooh, a disenchant. Let's see how this guy looks. Not pack fresh, but I'm not complaining. Wow. Looks like this guy had a fight with a chair wheel or something. Couple of nicks. Not bad. And two more commons. Creature bond. Death ward. Wow. What a set. Great day for the Hoard. Alright, let's just check the binder and see if we have a condition upgrade. And then we'll call it a day. Alright. Whoop. Well, so much for that. HP now, right? There we are. Doing this with one hand is a bit of a skill. Alright. There you go. What have we got? They're both nice. They are both nice. Centering is very solid. Little off right, left. Edges and corners are very clean. Is that a print dot? Might be. And the new one, let's see. It's hard with the glare. Centering, I would say, is about the same. Edges, corners look great. Wow, beautiful card. I don't know if it's an upgrade condition, but it is beautiful. right. Thanks for listening to me rant today. So remember, this is not a get-rich-quick opportunity. There are none anywhere. And the more time you spend chasing those opportunities, the more time that you're wasting where you could actually be building a system that will bring you success and wealth. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, you can help me out and the channel by just taking a moment to consign your soul to my eternal command. Thank you. See you next time.